I'm in, mate. Oh yeah. Oh well, third time lucky, mate. Let's go. Yeah, go for it, mate.
Hello, everyone. I'm back. So sorry about that. My internet crashed right when I started the second try that was already. Hopefully, you can all hear me now. If you could please confirm in chat whether audio is fine. I mean, I don't trust anything anymore tonight. And also, I would like to announce, even though I already said it before, but it probably cut off, I'm not alone on the stream. I have a very special guest from a very distant land. Here is Daniel.
Hello,
And
mate. Apparently, some people say your mic's off. I'm not sure if this is true.
you can all hear me.
No, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Victor. How's it going, mate?
Yeah.
God,
All
the
good?
technical issues. We're gonna get known for our technical issues. I swear.
This was all
We've
part
not.
of the test to see if I can actually stay calm in the face of adversity, obviously. So, what a fitting stream we have tonight where we're going to talk about trading psychology. We were actually going to try to do it with two cameras, but Zoom is kind of going crazy. So, I guess that doesn't work. Did you guys hear Daniel as well? Can anybody confirm if you can hear us both?
Hopefully they'll be.
I think it
Hopefully
should be
they can
okay.
hear us
Yeah, they
both.
say sound is good, all good.
Yeah.
It's fine now. Okay, then let's get going, baby. Okay, so
Let's
now we're
go.
a bit behind, so we're gonna just have to do it a bit faster. So, welcome to today's contender stream, champions and contenders. First of all, here's a wonderful trade disclaimer. Please read it carefully, as there is no financial advice in this video. And while you do that, I'm gonna take a drink. That's standard procedure. So, after getting the legal stuff out of the way, let's get started with the contender stream. We thought about doing this stream in preparation for what's coming up in the future streams, and also because many members expressed their struggle or their problems with taking certain trades or executing certain trades once they've found the proper setups with technical analysis. They found that they had difficulties executing the trades or staying in the trades as planned, and perhaps exiting them too early just to see the trade go exactly as planned and miss that opportunity. So we're going to try to work on or brush up a bit on trading psychology and why it's so important. Then we're also going to do the Tezos chart of the week. And then we're going to move on to the questions. Just give me a second. I'm going to pop out the chat so I love the subject tonight. Okay, that's good. That's good. Just popping out the chat here so I can see what you guys are saying. All right, looking good. So, trading psychology. I would like to talk about, I mean, it's a huge topic, but I'm going to try to focus on three subjects. One is trading emotions and how we think they might help us, but they end up betraying us most of the time. Risk management, we keep saying it over and over, and it's an absolute key component of your trading, and it needs to be set in stone, and it needs to be working really well to keep you in the game for as long as possible, because that's what we're playing at, not just for a week or a month. We want to do this for years. And then I would like to end with trading steps before each trade, and hopefully with these few steps that I'll highlight, it'll help those of you who might still be struggling with entering the trades or executing them or worrying once you're in the trade, to get over those negative emotions to actually be more profitable. So the tricky trading emotions that can bother us a lot or make us be less profitable. Two of them that are very common and that we've all felt, and especially at the beginning when we started, are fear and depression. So fear is usually very directly correlated with what kind of position size you're using and how much leverage you're using. And if it's not fitting to your account size, then it usually leads to a very uncomfortable feeling when you press that short or long button. And once you're in the trade, the whole time you're perhaps nervous and thinking, oh my goodness, did I do this right? Was it the right setup? Oh, someone else posted something on Discord and maybe I'm doing it the wrong way. So that's definitely an emotion that you should not be feeling when you're trading. And it's one that you want to, I mean, it's very difficult as humans to get rid of everything, but at least one that you have to be able to master so that you can be a profitable, successful trader over the long term. If you're afraid and you start perhaps losing a few trades in a row, you might start getting into a bit of a downward spiral where you feel worse and worse, your confidence goes down, and perhaps you start taking trades that are not meeting your criteria as they should be because you're revenge trading, because you're trying to make your money back, and you end up just depressed, feeling like crap, and wondering, okay, what have I done wrong? Maybe I'm not cut for this. Maybe I should just quit trading. I think I don't think there's anyone that's even the most successful traders in the world. When they started, they had these phases as well, and I don't think there's anyone that has not gone through phases where they're about to just quit and just say, okay, forget this. I'm not going to do it. I mean, it's a very strange job in a way, because instead of getting a fixed paycheck at the end of the month after doing your work, it could be that even though you put in a lot of work, at the end of the month, you have a negative paycheck. So that's a very important point to keep in mind. And that's also an underlying fear factor. Yeah, the fear factor that can always betray you when trading. The other emotions, perhaps on the other side, when we're thinking about not a losing streak, but perhaps a winning streak, are greed. Oh, this trade is going really good. Oh, I'm going to let it keep running. I mean, look at the profits. They're amazing. I'm just going to let it run. Oh, maybe it'll go higher if it's long, or maybe it'll go even lower if it's a short, or look at it go down, or look at it go up. That's something that's also bad. When you start feeling this, you should be careful. And of course, there's a step to avoid these emotions, or at least try to keep them in check. And we're going to talk about this in the next slides. And another emotion that feels really nice, and you're like, oh my goodness, I won 10 trades in a row, and I'm the king, I'm the big boss, I'm doing this really well, and I'm a god. I'm unstoppable. Look at this with my Fibonacci's and all my stuff. I'm just the best trader in the world. That's euphoria, and that's also something you definitely do not want to have. And this goes back to a point that I made on that Sunday morning stream about Marty Schwartz. It's one of the traders in the Market Wizards book that recommends taking a break or perhaps reducing position size when you feel euphoric as well, not just when you have a losing streak. That's perhaps more logical to think about. Okay, I'm not doing well. I need to stop this. I need to, just take a break. But if you are doing really, really well, then you become a bit complacent. Yeah. And then you're like euphoric and you're like, this is great. This is easy. I can just keep going full speed. Be a bit careful. So what's the summary of this? I mean, what should you do with all these emotions? You can't really completely turn them off, but you can at least master them and try to always, when you approach your desk to trade, I mean, you should not be doing it on your phone. I think that's not a very good idea. Those trades are usually, it means that you're usually doing something else and you shouldn't be actually trading, but you're checking the phone and you're like, oh my goodness, this looks really good. Let's just do it. You should be at your desk. Your desk should be organized so that you have no distractions. You should turn, like right now when you're watching the stream, you should turn your phone off. You should turn the TV off, hopefully. And you should be in the zone, or try to get in the zone. That means you basically find your center, you're calm, you're not greedy, you're not afraid of taking a trade, or of executing the technical analysis that you've performed before. And you're centered. Yeah. And that's really important. I mean, it sounds a bit cliche maybe to say, or a bit like, oh, what's this woman doing here, doing some yoga? But it does have a lot to do with what you're feeling. And if you have had a very bad day, if there's other things in your life that are bothering you, or just negatively affecting you, then it's definitely going to affect your trading too. So that's also something you need to be aware of. try to find your center and get in the zone. Then the second topic that I wanted to talk to you about today is, of course, risk management. And this will, of course, play into how you feel when you're trading, how your emotions develop. If you're very strict with your risk management, it'll be a lot easier to execute the trades. You will not be afraid because you will know exactly what happens beforehand before it even happens. Yeah. So first rule, as always, we've said this many times and we have to keep repeating it, protect your capital. The other day I thought about, or it's something that I use for myself. Let's say you have a $2,000 account. Instead of thinking, okay, I have a $2,000 account and I'm going to take a trade like this and risk, I don't know, $100. Yeah, that's a bit too much. Just pretend that you have a $20 million account. How would you handle that? I mean, would you also be kind of sloppy with your trades and be like, oh, I'm just going to over leverage that bad boy and this is going to work really well? No, you want to keep those 20 million. I mean, it's a lot of money. So you're going to be quite careful about it, and you're only going to take the absolute best trades that there are, and you're not going to go nuts with leverage either. So just play it like that. It doesn't matter what your account size is. Treat it as if it was 20 million, and then you will stop yourself from getting into a position where you'll be afraid or greedy or just out of your center when trading. That means basically stick to your plan. You do your technical analysis, and then you make your plan. You know where your uncle point is. That means someone's holding your arm behind your back and twisting it, like when we were kids in school. It's like, ow, ow. Of course, that never happened to me. But yeah, if someone is basically forcing you or twisting your arm and saying, say uncle, that's the point where you basically say, okay, I give up. Yeah. That's the maximum amount of pain that I want to take. And you need to know exactly or plan exactly where is that pain point. Yeah. If you're actually in a trade and you're feeling uncomfortable and you are experiencing emotional pain, then something is wrong with that trade. Yeah. So before you enter the trade, you calculate, you're protecting your capital, you calculate exactly how much you want to risk on that trade, and you stick to the plan. It doesn't matter what Daniel posts, it doesn't matter what Mike posts, what I post, what Igor posts, what any of the amazing traders we have in the group. You have your plan, and that's the number one rule that you're following. Yeah, don't get distracted and stick to it. You know exactly how much you are going to win, how much you're going to lose. If it doesn't go your way, so there's nothing to worry about. It doesn't matter where someone else posts, because someone else might have a different plan with different entries, different invalidations. Yeah, I mean, we do kind of flow along the same lines, but everyone's different. And this is probably the hardest part. This is, I mean, I have to admit, this is probably for me personally, and I'm sure for many as well, the most difficult part about risk management. That no trade is also a trade. To not be in a trade, that is also a trade, because that means you're recognizing that there is no trade with a high chance to go in your favor. There is no trade that has an edge, or where you have an edge. SingStar microphone. Need to stop looking at the chat. You guys are distracting me. So yeah, what was I saying? If you can't find a trade with the perfect characteristics that fit your criteria, then you just don't trade, and it's fine. Yeah, just think about this. Even if you miss a move, even if you miss a trade, even if you think you have to do something, you don't. The winners are always ahead of you. Yeah, there's always another trade waiting for you. So if we're sitting at the point of control in the middle of nowhere, basically, and it's just a ranging day and nothing's going on, then don't do anything. Just wait. Set your alerts and wait. Yeah. Also fitting with risk management is leverage. I think we've got a lot of discussions about leverage, especially after the last trading competition. Now there's another trading competition coming up. And the measuring tool that they use is P&L. And I've mentioned this also in the past. If you, let's say the trading competition started right now and you went into a 1x short, which basically just fixates your USD value, and then Bitcoin just crashes down like crazy, you have the same money, you haven't lost anything, but you have positive P&L. So that's a bit misleading. I mean, for your trading statistic for that competition, your P&L will look very nice, but you haven't made any money. So, don't get misled by that kind of measurement. And also don't get pulled into the very, very seducing option of going on high leverage and ruining your risk management. Yeah, the problem with the leverage is that as soon as you start using too much leverage, that trade size or the position size is then too powerful for your account. It doesn't matter how big your account is. If you start 50xing, 100xing it, the risk is very, very high. And you say, yeah, but if it goes my way, I'm the king. Yes, but if it doesn't, you're out. Yeah, your competition's over for you, which is exactly what happened with the other competition. It started, I think, at 11 a.m. And in the next 30 minutes after it started, there was a big dump and a ton of people got liquidated because they were 100x YOLO long. Yeah. So the ones that were short, of course, were superheroes. But yeah, just be careful with leverage. It can be very useful. It can produce fantastic results. But you need to treat it like a very addictive drug. So use it carefully and not too often. Take breaks. Or just don't use it at the beginning, even better. But once you're more advanced, of course, you can start kicking it up a little bit. So keeping all of this in mind, what do you do before each trade? What can you do? I mean, we have a nice sheet on the website that tells you how to calculate your position size based on your stop loss. How large should the position be to maintain a 1%, 2% risk, or 3% or 5%, whatever you're comfortable with. First step, of course, is do your TA and find the confluence. And here we're getting back again to how much time you devote to this. Daniel has mentioned this many times. He spends 8 to 12 hours a day on the charts. What do you think he's doing there? Looking at them and drawing little funny lines? No, he's testing, using all the tools available to find the maximum amount of confluence. Stop it. The maximum amount of confluence to take that trade, to have an edge on that next trade. Yeah. So if you have one factor, no good. If you have two factors, already better. If you have three, very nice. If you can get five, even better. And you know those trades have a high chance of going your way. And still, there is no guarantee that that trade's going to be a winner. So you can't go all YOLO on that just because you found a lot of confluence. Yeah. Even if that setup that you find has a 70% chance, that means out of 100 trades, approximately 70 will be winners and 30 will be losers. So that next trade could be one of the 30 or one of the 70. Yeah. So keep your risk the same. Yeah. The confluence is only so that you say, okay, I'm going to risk that 1%, that 2%. It's enough confluence for me. There's an order block. There's a fib. There's a speed fan. There's a horizontal. It's a perfect retracement. You know, get your characteristics together. That's the first step. So you find the confluence. That means your technical analysis job is done. Then you pick a position size that fits your account. Yeah. And this involves also leverage. If you use too much leverage, that position size will skew your risk and you will be risking way too much. So be careful with that. And this, of course, if you pick the right position size, will pretty much eliminate your fear before, during, and after the trade and the depression, if you lose, because you'll know exactly how much you lose. So what do you have to worry about? Nothing. You just find your confluence, pick a position size that fits that account, eliminate the emotions, try to act a little bit like a robot, and then execute. The most important step, execute. You should not be afraid to execute because you've done proper planning. You've done your research. You found the things that you need to take that trade. And you have a position size that fits your account. So if you lose 1% of your account, so what? You need to take risk. Without risk, there's no gain. Yeah, that's the way trading works. And if you can't deal with that, well, then you shouldn't be trading. But you will lose money. The only thing that you have to make sure of is that when you win money, that you win more than you lose. So percentage-wise, there should be more wins than losses, or your winners should be bigger than your losers. Yeah, there's some legendary traders that with a 5% win rate have made millions because they let those winners run a lot. But I mean, that's a very specific trading system. And then we're back to, every person's different. So use the tools to find the confluence that fit you, the ones that you like. Be careful with that position size, and leverage, and then just execute. No feelings, and just get into that trade. You need to get the 100 trades, and always think, I'm entering this trade, but I have 100 or 99 more trades waiting. Yeah. So you need to stay alive for that long for your statistics to work. And then perhaps, the last slide, basically, I just wanted to make a small note involving how, you should be handling your trading. It's a serious job. You need to put effort into it, and you cannot do it in between. And like this guy here is showing us, he's doing it exactly wrong. Yeah, he's checking the screen. He's on his phone. He's eating junk food. His position, his back position is horrible. Yeah, he's sitting all crooked. Yeah, you should be sitting proper. And you should keep your body in shape, and you should eat foods that keep your mind sharp. Yeah, so you need to get enough sleep. You need to eat food that keeps your mind sharp, not fatty stuff that'll make you sleepy, and do regular exercise. I mean, this is just general advice for everyone to perform at any job, and at this job with all the stress that comes with it, because you are risking money. Yeah, you can go down, you can have drawdown. Yeah, when you go to work, you get your paycheck at the end of the month. Where's the drawdown there? Yeah, you spend the time and you get your money. But here you can actually be in the red before you go green. Yeah, even with a working system. If you catch 10 trades, even if the trade setter is proper and you have 10 trades in a row that are losers, it can happen. It's probabilities. Yeah, it's not very very likely, but it could happen. So you need to keep yourself trained in the head and your body. Yeah, so a healthy mind and a healthy body, and I think that's a very good advice to make your trading be as successful as possible. So those are the slides. Wow, that's a lot of chat. Wait, was there freezing? Oh, I hope not. Oh, it looks fine here. Okay, so Daniel, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you, mate.
All right.
Loud and clear. For
Okay.
me, it wasn't freezing, but I think, I don't know. It'll be on the website anyway afterwards, so it doesn't matter.
And can you guys hear Daniel as well before he starts talking? And can somebody confirm if they can hear Daniel?
Hopefully they can hear me.
I mean, I hear you. Yeah, it's going to take about 30 seconds. But yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
The whole point of this, or why we thought this stream would be useful today, to refresh this topic that maybe sometimes is forgotten, but also very important, not just your TA, but how you actually execute the trades. We can hear Daniel. Great. Thanks, mate. Is because the next champion stream will be the beginning of the live trading series that Daniel's going to be doing. And think about it this way. Don't go crazy on that first trade that he takes. There's going to be, just think of it this way. There's going to be 100 trades. So stay alive for those 100 trades. Don't YOLO 100x on the first one. Yeah. Do you want to say something, Daniel?
It's like we were speaking about the other day. It would be interesting if we were to do this 100 trade challenge. So whether that lasts however long it lasts, but like 100 trades. And you have to remember, like in trading, although it might seem unusual because at the moment I'm on a roll, you have to remember that there is obviously always this possibility that the next trade is the losing trade. And you have to remember that if let's say we do 100 trade series, then you could start off with a few losers, but then by the end of the first 10 trades, let's say, you could have done two losses to start, but then you win your next 8 trades. And myself, and when I'm doing this live stream series, I'm going to be promoting risk management. I'm going to be doing it all correct. And, I'm not going to be throwing away money to begin with. I'm not going to be liquidated, etc. But obviously there's going to be people that don't use their risk management correctly. And we saw this, like there's evidence that, this is the whole reason that I really want to do this live trading series, because it's completely evident that although we give the best as we can in terms of education, there's still this seems to be problem with some people over leveraging, people not understanding leverage, people not understanding compounding, people not understanding really the difference or how to implement the theory into real life trading. I think that's the number one reason why I want to do this, is simply because it's really good that I can cover all the theory. I can go through TPO charts, I can go through looking at the footprint, I can go through Fibonacci, speed fans, pitchforks, monthlies, weeklies, all these different harmonics. if you understand a theory, but you don't know how to put that into practice, then there's a massive, 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 massive difference. So what I hope to accomplish by doing the live trading series is to help the people, and I think it's fair to say that maybe 90% struggle still. Um, so I want to try and help those, the majority that's still finding it hard, to go from the section of, okay, I understand a theory, but now let's start making money. And I've said it a million times. There's an absolutely massive difference between the guy on Twitter that posts charts and the guy that's actually trading with 100,000 plus, per trade. There's a massive difference. Just because you can do the technicals doesn't mean that you're a good trader. Um, so I hope to like bridge that gap as well and just bring it all together, so to speak. Obviously, we've still got the series coming up. I've got the next big series that I'm doing is the TPO series, which I know a lot of people are excited for. But in terms of that, that's the next educational series I'm going to be doing, the TPO. But nevertheless, for the live trading series, I just try and hope to bridge this gap. And yeah, tonight's live stream was primarily for this bridging of the going through. Okay, we're starting the live stream trading series next, and I just wanted to. Well, yeah, it would be nice to bring Victor on. Obviously, he's a professional in the space of doctory, of yeah, going through some psychology little tips, remembering the risk management, and yeah, nice little walkthrough as we begin our TPO series, and obviously the live, that's for the contender streams, and then the um, yeah, new live trading series that's beginning for the champions. The other thing that I was going to mention, so I made a note of when Victor was saying about making a trading plan and how you shouldn't be emotional in your plan, and it reminded me of the video that I made the other day, where I started off the video saying, "Are you sleeping like a baby, or are you up all night worrying about your trades?" If you're up all night worrying about your trades, you need champions. It made me laugh, but it's totally true. Like last, like the whole of today, basically, I've taken one trade all day, like period. Um, and so you don't need to be up, like you should not be in a case where you can't sleep at night. And I know from personal experience, because I went through this, of not being able to sleep at night, of just being so addicted to the charts, but in an unhealthy fashion, not addicted because I absolutely love it. I would still admit I absolutely love this and I'm addicted to it, but addicted to it because I was so scared of the money on the line. And that is the biggest number one feature, is because the risk management is so poor. You're risking way too much. You just really should not be in a situation. And I'm just talking from personal experience that I went through this, of not being able to sleep, of being so worried. I've went through it all, to be then trading sizes that I never even thought I'd have. But it obviously is a step-by-step process. You don't just overnight get to that. I think you have to take losses before you can appreciate the wins, and you have to take some losses before you're like, okay, then let's make a proper system, because you can't go on like this forever. We need to actually make some changes here, positive changes, and yeah, I think getting your risk management on lockdown is the number one reason for this. And then some people are like, oh, I have my risk management on lockdown, but I think yeah, overall, just having like that correct plan and the way you ladder into like the way that you ladder into trades is so important. I think laddering is a skill that people are going to pick up on, because I don't feel, and I can't speak for everybody, but I would say the majority don't ladder, and that's one of my main strategies. Uh, Obviously, when I was laddering into that short 11,700, that was a great trade. But if I was just placing one order, then I could have missed that trade totally. And then you're left in a situation like, oh, wow, I just missed this trade. Like, if I share my screen a second, I've got another good example, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
Let me remind myself how I do this now. You just want to confirm you can see my screen.
Yeah, they should be able to.
Brilliant.
With me on it.
So,
Ooh.
It's like the example of today. I was giving the really important resistance, and I was giving it as 11,580. As you can see, I have the alert here. But the way that I was shorting this today was laddering into the position. Because I know there were some people, because they literally wrote it in the group, saying that they had their one and only short here. And I'm like, okay, well, you had your one and only short above the high. That's okay. But what you could have done is a position like mine and laddered into this short because you knew the important resistance started 11,500. So if you know the important resistance is 11,500 and you've got it up to 11,800, 11,588, whereas if you compound this into 4 or 5 laddered orders, well, guess what? You done that really good short position because you managed to take it down to the lows. Um, so laddering, I think, is something people will pick up on and understand how I do this. Because you have to incorporate laddering into risk management. You can't be like, okay, my risk management says I can take on a 2,000 position size, and then on every laddered order put on 2,000. But it's just an example.
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of what I just wanted to add on to what you were saying, really.
Yep. Should I? Let's. How about we just do the summary and then move on to the questions, and then maybe we can pick your brains a little bit,
Yeah, that's cool.
or they can pick ours.
Yeah, that sounds cool, mate.
I think you need to stop sharing.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You can share later again.
Okay.
So I think I'll just leave it here in the corner. It's not gonna bother us. So, summary. Be aware of your emotions. Yeah, if you're not feeling centered, if you're not in the zone, then just don't force it. Yeah, there's enough days for you to be able to take amazing trades. Don't force it if you're not in the place that you should be. Yeah, play defense, manage risk. Yeah, the best offense is a good defense, and execute your plan. And also to add on comments that I've seen on the chat already. Not only follow your plan, but also journal it so that while you're writing down why you're taking the trade, you discover perhaps something that you had missed, or you confirm that your plan is really good and you really like that trade. So then you go on and execute it. And you can always read back on it and see, that's why I took that there. Well, I would take that trade again. It made sense. So be aware of your emotions, play defense, and execute your plan. Ooh, should we do chart of the week?
I was thinking about chart of the week, and on Tezos, I think I might just make a new live stream and go through it after this rather than putting it into this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do Tezos after this stream, or do Tezos tomorrow. I'm going to do Tezos in a new stream.
Okay. That was the setup that was posted. So now let's move on to the questions. Here's the first question. Oh, I was first. Victor asked, what was one of the worst trades that you can remember and how did you recover it from it? That's a question for Daniel.
Sorry, my screen is trying to catch up to your if you just say it one more time.
What was one of the worst trades that you can remember and how did you recover from it?
Right. So one of the worst trades I can remember, and how did I recover it? So let me think 1 second. Probably one of the worst trades, I suppose, more recently that I can remember very well. And that was truly an awful trade. I remember it was probably about month and a half ago, where we were on Bitcoin, and it was, let me try and remind myself, I think it was on the day of the 2nd of June. Am I thinking correctly? 2nd of June. No, I think it might have been on the 18th of August. Yes, I think it was on this break. I was looking at the wrong break. One of my worst trades was I can't remember the exact day of it. That's the problem. But I just remember what it was like. And I'm pretty sure actually it was on the 18th of August. And let me share my screen again. It's easier. I'm just going to share a second, all right?
Yeah.
I think people can see. If I can remember correctly, it was in this one where there was a breakout on Bitcoin. And yes, I'm pretty sure it was this. I'm just trying to remind myself if I'm thinking of the right section right now. Pretty sure it was this because there was the breakout on Bitcoin, and I basically it was either this one or the one prior to this. But yeah, let's just go. My setup was something along this sort of lines, where Bitcoin had broken out, and I wanted to essentially look to buy the dip, thinking, okay, we're going to break out now. I can't remember exactly where my stop loss was, and I was like looking for higher prices. Um, and I remember that this trade was really, really, really bad for me because of the simple fact I was trying to buy a breakout where when I actually sat down and looked at it, there was no strength in the breakout. So I was really lazy, let's say, with the technical analysis. Um, and this for me was one of the worst trades that I can remember in recent times because it was a trade taken from really, 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 really lazy technical analysis, like not doing the steps I would normally take, just kind of thinking, oh, right, prices taken to high, let's just buy, continue on with the strength. And obviously, I got punished because price just went all the way back down. And this for me was a really, I just remember it. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like this, when I got stopped, I was just thinking, wow, this was just like a really, really, really bad trade. um, so that was definitely the worst trade that I can remember. So like, why was it bad? Because I literally just thought, oh, we've broken out. Let's just try and buy the retrace. I done absolutely zero technical analysis. Um, so my main problem was being ultra like lazy, like really just why did I take that trade? It was, I guess, more based on just looking at the chart. There was zero TA and I got punished on it. So I can say that it was my worst trade because I hold myself to higher standards than this, I suppose. And how did I recover from it? Um, if I remember correctly, I guess I just went into my next trade. I suppose I'm above a level now where I have to say that I have to like recover emotionally and stuff from it. But um, if I remember correctly, I kind of just stopped trading for a little bit and just took a little break. Obviously, this is you guys can probably remember I was going through some personal stuff during this time, and the whole thing around me was just like a bit too much. And yeah, I basically just took a break after this trade. I was just thinking to myself, well, don't try and trade when there's things going on, and just take a break. So, I mean, in terms of my trading, I didn't get affected by it, but in terms of like the having the emotional or in terms of having the self control, be able to say to myself, okay, Daniel, you've done this long enough now to know when you're going to perform well and when you're not going to perform. And clearly, this is not a good time to trade. So just don't trade. So I took a few weeks off and yeah, come back and started trading again. And I think trading a lot better. So yeah, that's the worst trade that I can remember in recent times. And how did I recover from it? Well, I took a bit of time off. Didn't let it affect me, and yeah, come back on to the next trade sort of thing. Come back, new mindset, new refreshed energy, and yeah, that's how I recovered from it.
Nice. Yeah, let's see. So that was my question for you. If you guys have any other questions for Daniel or for me concerning this topic, then go ahead and fire away.
I think we're seeing like a really really nice. I think like I'm not sure if I'm still sharing. I can't remember if I'm still. Is
Yeah,
my
you're
screen
sharing.
still being shared?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like what we were going through. Well, while we wait to see if any questions come in or not, I was just going to go through like what I was all about today. Like you have to be really, really patient for these for the trades that come and go in terms of Today, I think we can all agree that today has been fairly sideways. I think we can all agree that there's not been so much. I mean, you've had like literally one, I would say one or two trades today. Um, we had the move up here, which was potentially one trade, or you had the move down here, which was potentially one trade. Either of those trades, I think, are good trades. And it is like I wanted to highlight. I'm probably not going to be able to find it offhand now, but I was going to try and find this one by the one that I was referring to Igor earlier. I'll try and find it a second. Igor. Yes, so Igor done a really good trade earlier. No surprise there. Igor's a good
Many
trader.
good trades.
Yeah. But he was like saying, you know, you got to pay yourself below those lows. And he's obviously referring to along this sort of setup where they were looking to short the high of the harmonic, take it down towards the lows of those harmonics. And it's like Igor's saying, you gotta pay yourself above these levels. And like I was replying to him, or where everybody else is getting stopped out, that's where we long. So I've just replied to this to show you the position that I'm still in this one. And I've got paid on this now. So how did I get paid on this trade? Literally exactly as I replied to Igor, I bought $11,307. I'm buying where everybody else is selling. You see how counterintuitive this is to the market? Everybody is selling here because they're getting stopped out. They've got their stop loss. I know where their stop loss is, and I'm literally buying where everybody else is going to have their stop loss. And who's walking away with the money? Me. But you know, I love these sort of trades because I know that retail gets so wrecked on them. Like, how many times do you think people wake up in the day like, oh my god, I got stopped out and price reversed? Oh my god, I had my stop loss at the high and then price went down. Oh my god, I had my stop loss at the low, I got stopped out and price went back up. You know, you just got to remember, like, trading is such a game of like, it's such a sport. I refer to trading as a sport, or like a game, a really competitive environment where you got to have this like killer mentality where you just want to literally wipe out everybody. And so I love these sort of trades where I know, yeah, I've made some money on this trade off of other people getting stopped out. And I know it sounds really bad, but it also is like really good because this is a zero sum game. There's always losers, there's always winners. You can't feel compassion. You can't feel, oh no, I don't want to take this guy's money. Like, I remember some people used to comment to me saying, oh Daniel, you're because I was like shorting. I can't remember exactly the comment, so don't quote me on it. But you know, I've received comments like, how can you be happy that you're winning money? Or people, especially people that I know in the stock market, that are like religious longers. And when I'm like, oh yeah, I've made some money on shorting, and they're like, oh, how can you be shorting? You know, just ridiculous arguments and things like this. But at the end of the day, you trade to make money, and you got to remember that the majority of the places where you make money are off of people's stops. Like, the amount of times you make money off of that is insane. But yeah, that I guess this is one of my good trades that I can remember. So going from the worst trade that I can remember, which was a little while ago, back up at the highs, and now I can remember a really good trade. So there's winners and losers. This is the game of life, the game of trading. You can't expect to win every trade, and you know, I feel I'm really good at keeping my losses so small that they don't even sort of need to be acknowledged, because obviously I acknowledge when I take a loss, but at the end of the day, I'm really good at no right word I'm looking for here, of just reading the market. Like, you remember last night where everybody was really, really surprised that I said I closed my short, and everyone was like, "What, Daniel? You're closing your short here?" I was like, "Yeah, I've fully closed it." And then a few hours later, you have that really big move to the upside. So it's just like being able to read the market, see when the squeezes are coming, see what's the most likely. And that's the key point, that's seeing what's the most likely. Because I could have been the villain today inside of the group of saying I've closed the short and then price just dumped. And then we would have had a lot of angry people. But I said I closed the short. We got the prize. I got laddered entries, and I went from closing short to getting the rise and then shorting the high and then bringing it back down. Obviously, the thing that I'm trying to highlight here is it could have gone down. It absolutely could have gone down. There wasn't 100% guarantee we had to get this squeeze, but we have to just think like, what's the most likely? What's the most probable? Give me 10 trades, and I like to think I'll be coming out of those 10s with some healthy profits. But obviously, there's no guarantee. I could take 10 trades, lose 10 trades. But it's a game of probabilities. Keep your winners small. Keep your losers small and your winners big.
Not the winners.
It's like Mike. You see Mike's live stream the other day, where he done a live stream at like literally like 2 a.m. when it was up at those highs. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike went on live stream and he was showing his position sizes, credit to him, and doing all that good stuff. And he was in the short from up here. But like he was saying, he done a little long for the breakout, recognized that the long was not going well, and kept a long, really small loss, flipped into a short, and managed to capture the whole of the down move. So it's like, this is what we're doing. We're keeping the losses small, the winners big. Yeah, that's the name of the game. Just playing the probabilities, playing the odds, and that's what you got to do. It's like that 76%. The other day I gave you the 76% probabilities that we would bounce off that lower CC again, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah. When you have these good odds, these good probabilities, it's like, why would I not take this trade? Yeah, I can lose, but I know from hard cold statistics that I'm more likely to win. I'm good at reading the context, so I'll keep taking the trades. Yeah. And keeps rewarding me at the moment.
That was also a very good point with that flip that Mike did from long to short, of not marrying your bias. And
Amen.
Maybe I'll answer the question I gave you, or I asked you, and just asked myself as well. One of the worst trades I can remember was because of my bias. It was 2019. I think January, and Bitcoin hadn't been moving much. Like the ranges were very small, so it was really annoying to trade. And 2019 kind of, we were still, I think, going down to the 3K-ish, 3.3, 3.5 area, something like that. And it was pretty much, bearish. And that was my bias, and I made nice money off it. And then at the beginning of February, maybe it was the 8th or the 9th or something like that. If I can remember the date, it must have been bad, yeah. And there was like a $300 pump. And I'm like, no, that can't be. Nope. I do not accept it. My ego got in my way. I was like, nope. So I let my loss. Did not accept taking, I did take the loss, but I continued to try to go against that change. And it cost me a lot, yeah. So that thing that you just mentioned about flipping, when you recognize, hey, this is not going the way I thought it would be, it's not a crime. It's okay. And it's not about being right or wrong. It's about making money. So take your ego, leave it outside, and you can use it later for other things. But not for trading. You can't really use it for trading.
I agree. Like I think like this is a really, really good example of how I let my ego be beaten by making money, because there is this case. I had the short, obviously 11,690, so almost a high here, and there's a certain ego that's based with this in terms of being able to say that you shorted the almost high is obviously really, really good. But instead of being able to hold on to that position and be like, I could have just stayed in this short, and let's say that we dump all the way. I'm not saying this is happening. Let's say we went all the way to 10,000. I could have stayed in the short from 11,700, not taken any profits, kept in the same position, and it would look really good for Twitter, wouldn't it? Oh wow, I shorted 11,700 and it's now 10,000. That would look great in Twitter. But what do I care more about? I care more about making money. So when I was closing my short and re-shorting, then my short position looks like it's from 11,530, which obviously doesn't look as good as the short up here. But I made money then on the rise. I then made money on the drop, and I made more money again on the rise here. So instead of just being like, oh, I want to hold on to this position because it looks really good,
Yeah.
No, I don't care about that. I'd prefer to just make money, make money, make money, make money. It's exactly the same as the long off of 11,180. I know that some people longed the level 180 because it was the level we were all waiting for. And they held this position, let's say, to where we are now. And so it looks really good if you want to post this on Twitter, or it looks really good if you want to post this in the group, because it looks like you've longed this and it's all the way up here and it looks really, really good. But what I was doing is longing here, and I closed it up at those highs. I closed it at the weekly, and then we got the rejection. And obviously, as you know, this was then again a 76% probability setup. We had it. Took another long from this. But then instead of having that all sexy looking entry, 11,180, I then have an entry that looks like it's from 11,400. And some people are going to be like, oh, look, this guy, his entry isn't as, if you put this on Twitter and you show the guy that longed here, 10,180,
Yeah.
and the guy that, let's say, longed here, value area low retest, this guy has made, let's just say for an example, 12% profit. But what I was doing in this section is from that low to the high, 7% profit, and then back from that low, 4% profit, then back up to the high where I was trading that butterfly, 3% profit. Obviously, in the end, I tried to reshort a triangle break, but then I did, again, kept my loss small because I actually shorted here because I was trying to trade my triangle. I realized, okay, that's a bad idea because we broke out, we back tested, and then went back into a long position. And then from this long, managed to take it up to 11,700, 8%. Then I obviously switched this back into a short, traded back down to those. So you can see here, this guy who looks really good on Twitter has made 12%. But I'm easily making 25% here off of longing, shorting, longing, losing trades, back into longs, shorts, longs, shorts. So like trading each pivot of the move. And obviously this requires a lot more skill, let's be honest. And let's be honest, it requires a lot more skill. But it also makes you a lot more money. So it doesn't matter what it looks like. The guy that posted the screenshot doesn't mean that he made the most money. The guy that's traded all this intricately, if that's the right word I'm looking for, very probably butchered that word, intricately, or very skillfully, very precise.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look as good, because I would have once upon a time not have actually closed this short here and reshorted here, because I would have actually been like, I don't want to close this short because it looks really good now. But I don't care about that anymore. So I just try and make the most money on the trades. But that's an example of ego, I think, of not letting it get the better of you. And like you say, like if you're in a losing trade, like just close the trade, get into a new trade, because you don't have to be right in the market. The market doesn't care what you want. The market literally does not care what you want. The market is going to move. And if you refuse to admit you're wrong, you're just going to keep losing and losing and losing and losing. Just get out of the trade, go on to a new one, and make money.
Yeah, that also blocks you if you're obsessed with no, this is the way it's got to go, and you're stuck in that losing trade. You become like catatonic. You stop really thinking clearly. So you're getting out of your center. You're setting up yourself for failure. Take the loss and replan the trade. Find a new entry. Reevaluate the situation.
Absolutely.
A few questions came in. Let's see. I don't think I can show them if you're sharing screen. Nope.
Oh, let me stop. There you go, mate.
Let's put this back one sheet. Yeah, there we go. And now, where did they go? Here we go. So, retail is also... Gaz Ali is asking Daniel, I've never traded ever. How should I start?
That's
At the beginning.
Good question, mate. I guess start on the Contenders Beginner Series, then work your way through the modules. Just message Trading Assistant, and he's Trading Assistant is obviously designed. I'm gonna have to share my screen once more. Let me explain this. And so obviously the Trading Assistant is designed to literally help beginners. So you can come in here with the most beginner question that you have and ask that to Trading Assistant, and he'll point you to the thing to watch next, point you to the reading material to read next, or just answer your questions. So it can be as basic as, what does this mean? I don't know what the fib is. Or it can be, basic. The trading assistant is there for the beginner questions, or the total beginners, to, asking about other things, anything. So, I'd say go and DM trading assistant and it'll give you some help.
Yeah, and just watch the streams, work through the content, take your time, no rush, and don't trade until your paper trades start looking good. And start with a small account, like $100 or $50, and try to double that account before you put in more money.
Yep.
Then next question, Linda Lou, retail is us too. Yeah.
You'll get there in the end.
Yeah. Chris Knudsen, in this case, don't trade if you can make money from people. Chris Knudsen, is the stop loss information on exo charts or your killer instinct as a veteran trader?
Sorry, what is the question?
If you said that you put your entries where the stop losses are, where most people have their stop loss, and he's asking if that stop loss info is on exo charts or if it's your killer instinct as a veteran
Yeah,
trader.
this is my killer instinct.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not going to get an indicator that tells you it.
Smells like stop losses. Bye. People that trade and lose aren't forced to trade. It's like they are willing to take the risk of losing. Igor, yeah, that was a good one, Daniel. On every opportunity, I always pay myself. I prefer the money in my bank. Absolutely. It feels good. Oh, yeah. I paid for my winter tires with that last trade with a nice profits. I said, sending it to the bank, paying for the tires. Boop. It feels good. It feels good. Do it. I agree, Igor. Paying myself has been a game changer for me. Don't care about Twitter. Care about your bank account, says Linda. Lemon, but having several accounts helps a lot. Yeah. At least 2 accounts, I would say, because one you can use for swings and the other one for day trading. I mean, that's, I think, the minimum. The day trading can be just scalping short trades, and the other one is for a nice entry that you let run, or you just keep compounding. Doesn't mean you don't pay yourself on the other account, but it's a different focus. So you can have different styles of trading at the same time going on. Mike also answered, guys, what works. Okay, thank you, Mike. Daniel, Alexandru Husenita is asking, Daniel, is there one thing that has helped you learning how to trade and kept you going in the beginning?
Yes, really, really, really good question. Because what I don't understand is that some people, I don't think, are in it from the beginning, or they don't have the right mindset. I am a guy no different than anyone else. Like, some people are like, I'm no different than anybody else. Literally, I have no special skills. I wasn't born to be a trader. I wasn't, I don't have anything extra than anyone else, but all I have is really hard work ethics. I want to succeed and I wouldn't accept a loss. Whereas you get some people that will come along, they'll be like, oh, you know what, I'll give trading a shot for a month. I'll give it, I'll give this 6 months. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But my viewpoint of trading was, I want to do this and I'm going to go until I lose, until I'm dead, sort of thing. I'm not going to give up on this. I think if you think, oh, you know what, I'll give this 6 months, I'll give this a year. Well, why begin in the first place? I think you want the mindset of, I am going to do this and I am going to keep going until I make it.
Yeah.
I could have been losing for years upon years upon years and I'd still be going, because I'd be like, you know what, there is a way to master the markets. There is a way to make money. I want to be that guy. And I think I was so attracted to trading, firstly because I think it's just absolutely fascinating the way the markets move. I just was from like a really young age. I was obviously not born into money, but I would save everything. So every pound I was given, I would save that religiously. And I was very keen on investing and saving my money. So for me, it was really natural to go from investing to the stock market. Obviously, I started off investing before I started trading. So I didn't go straight into trading. But it was like a natural progression. And then once you start losing money from investing, and that's really what triggered me. Like, okay, I want to learn why these markets move like they do. But it's not like I started off and I went into winning trading straight away. Absolutely not. I went through the losers, I went through the pain, I went through the suffering. And, I just kept going. If I took a loss, I would study hard why I took that loss. Whereas so many people, so many traders, they don't have that mentality. They take the loss, they go on to the next trade. They take the loss, they go on to the next trade. I was taking losses. I was recording statistics, why I lost the trade, how I could have improved. That takes hard work and dedication. And that's why I think trading is not for everybody, especially if you're really weak-minded, enough of a weak mind to say, I give up. And if your vocabulary includes the words I give up, I don't even think you should begin, to be honest. Like, why even try if you're just going to give up? I would not happily anyway give up on anything unless I was forced to give up on something. I wouldn't want to give up, especially when I see the rewards that can be had from such a thing as trading. I think the main thing about trading is literally the luxury of the biggest commodity in the world is time. You cannot, I can buy as much stocks as I want. I can buy as much Bitcoin as I want within reason, but I cannot buy more time. So why would I want to know I'm going to work in a 9 to 5 sort of, essentially, this is my viewpoint and I don't mean to offend, but I wanted, and I was in this, I was working and, you work really hard and you don't get that reward. You don't get that out of the rat race sort of thing. And I think that trading like offers you this potential of getting out of that rat race, being your own boss, saying, I want to work next week from the Philippines. So let's go to the Philippines. I want to work next week from Argentina. Let's go Argentina. And nobody can tell me where I cannot trade. And as a guy that loves traveling, that was really really appealing to me of being, what, I can travel wherever I want and I can continue to trade. And that for me is just like, that's what I want to do. Um, I want that, and I'm going to do this until I die. I'm just going to keep on moving forward. And even now, I think I could become really complacent. I could say, I'm a really good trader. I'm happy with where I am, and I'm going to just keep on going. And I'm going to, I could be more than happy with where I am in life, but I continue even now to strive for more. I'm still going through my statistics. I'm still building up new strategies. I'm still building up new, for example, on XO charts. If I was a lazy trader that was complacent, I wouldn't even bother to, look at this sort of thing. I wouldn't have even thought, oh, I would have been like, I have Sierra charts. I don't need this. But then, you don't have these sort of net long, net short, these sort of ways that you can make new strategies. Like, this is the opposite of becoming complacent, because I'm continuously looking for new edges in the market. I'm continuously, you know, trying to better myself. There's always something to learn. There's always something to improve on. Yep. And I think the guy that becomes complacent is naive, maybe, because you can never be the best at anything. And although I know sometimes I have the ego and stuff, but I admit, like, that you can never be the best at anything. There's always something to improve and move forwards. So I think the overall question, I can't remember what it was now, actually, but it was something like,
what helped you in the beginning? What kept you going, especially?
Yeah. So what kept me going, I guess, was my willpower and what the want to succeed.
Yeah. I mean, this is it's crazy. It's just to use your athlete analogy. If someone is training to go to compete at the Olympics, they can't just train for a month and see how it goes. I mean, it's years and many, many years and a lot of effort to get there. And okay, not everyone makes it to the Olympics, but the training is brutal. So this is the same. Or if you're going for a run and you're like, oh, I'm not going to make it. I can't do it. My legs hurt. And but that's the wrong mindset. And it's the same for trading too. You have to think positive, and losses are a part of the game, but they should not stop you. Keep going. And this brings me to something I wanted to say that kind of pissed me off at the last public live stream that you did. Someone was asking you, why should I pay what the Chart Champions group costs if I can just put the money, stack Bitcoin and make the same? Oof, I don't know if you saw or didn't see the question, but I was like,
I didn't see it.
well, it's a very simple answer. I mean, I can say from my personal experience, I am sure that I have saved thousands of euros, dollars, whatever you're using, thanks to chart champions, thanks to what Daniel is teaching us. I mean, he didn't have himself when he started. We have him. We are sucking from his experience, from his mistakes, from his triumphs. We're learning everything, and he's handing us all the tools that have worked for him with statistics, and we can just use them to make our own trading system. And we're saving years and effort. Years, I'm telling you. It's crazy. So you're paying for financial freedom. That's what that costs. I mean, it's, yeah. It's insane. The value that you're getting is, you can't think, okay, this is what it cost me per month, and am I making my monthly fee back? Yes, of course, I know it's nice to make it back, but you really need to think in 10 years from now. You could be sitting in 10 years from now with your house paid, no debt, and financially able to decide what you want to do with your time. You can work if you want in your primary profession, but you don't have to, because everything is set. Your kids are set, your family is set. That's what you can achieve. And you really can. You really, really can. I'm not exaggerating.
I think the biggest thing that you need to think is it's not like I think that again it's kind of the wrong mentality. You have to view it as kind of an investment in yourself.
Yeah.
So you know, if you want to invest in yourself, obviously, yeah, I just think you got to view it as a literally an investment in yourself sort of thing. But
Yep.
anyway, yeah.
Then Igor, thank you, Igor. That's a very good stream. Wise words. I hope it. We hope that it helps. Have two separate accounts, one for long and one for short. Yes. Being patient. Yes. Ooh, waiting for the podcast. Yes. Winner will never quit. Chart champion, give me the energy to keep going. Yes. There's a lot of energy in the group. I mean, I've never been in a group like this. I was in another group before, and there's no comparison. I mean, I go back there and I just almost have to. I feel bad for them because the the technical analysis is terrible. But back then it's like, ooh, it's all new. Ooh. So it's nice to see that. Fully agree. Tom Jones says, fully agree. You have to be committed and persistent. You can't learn this in a few weeks or months. Yeah. And I mean, that's another point. Look at what Tom's doing. Look at what Igor's doing. Look at what Vector's doing. Look at what Daniel's doing. Mike is doing. What I'm doing. There's so many different styles coming together, and you can just pick. It's like a tree full of ripe fruit, and you're like, okay, I like this one, and this one. And you can still make it into your own, synthesize it, like Marty Schwartz said, into your own successful trading system. It's great.
That was another thing that I remember from that book, that Marty Schwartz was, correct me if I'm wrong, Victor, but was losing for 10 years before he actually started to make money trading.
Yeah. 10 years failing, but necessarily.
Yeah. That's crazy. If he dedicated 10 years of losing trading to eventually come and to turn it around and be a winner, then how can you give up after 1 month?
Yeah, that's amazing. 10 years. I mean, wow. Hats off, sir. Hats off. Oh, there's a question for me. Victor, how did you get into trading being from a totally different profession? Well, I kind of started similarly, investing. So I bought a stock without even really knowing. It was Twilio. I bought it in Frankfurt because I thought, okay, it's in New York and it's in Frankfurt. I'll just buy it in Frankfurt because it's cheaper. And then I was like, why aren't the prices moving exactly the same? What's going on? So I didn't even know, what the listings are and where. And so yeah, I made a lot of mistakes at the beginning, but I got into the whole thing with investing as well. Just holding stocks for longer periods of time and trying to pick good stocks. And I realized, okay, this makes more sense than keeping the money in your bank account and hoping for a 1% or maybe 2% interest rate, which does not exist today anymore. So actually, for the situation we have now, I think this is the only way to make your money grow. Seriously, investing, and if you want to get into it, trading as well, because with trading you can just you can replace your job actually if you want, if you do it properly. But it's going to take you years. I mean, if you went to university for 4 or 5 years, 4 years, or your total training has been, I don't know, for me, I don't even want to. Many years of training. Yeah, before I reach that level in trading, I'm gonna have to put in the same amount of time. So my goal is 10 years ahead. 10 years ahead. That's the plan, and learn something new every day. Like Daniel said, there's always something new that you can learn, and the markets evolve. So you have to update yourself. Your system might not work in a year or two, so you have to tweak it. No. How can Linda says? How can we be weak minded? We are in the champions group. Exactly. That's already, see, the name already gets in the right mindset. Champion. So, oh, JH is asking Daniel, how many years have you been trading as opposed to investing?
About in terms of actually trading, probably 7. I
7.
started off the first warehouse, maybe 8, because I started. It's really hard to make the exact distinction of when I went from investing to trading, but it was more so. I started off investing, as many of you know, in like Nvidia. So that was like my main investment when I first started, and Nvidia was good. I also was in it on Apple, and both of these stocks increased by over 100% when I first got into them, and so I started investing at a really good time, obviously, but they then took 50% drops. So the reason why I went into trading is because I saw my money double. It wasn't a lot of money, but I saw my money double, and then I saw it go down 50%. And obviously, you don't. At the time anyway, I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm still up 50%. I'm still up. But at the end of the day, I was like, oh, I've just lost 50% of my money, and that's when I made the move from uh, thinking, all right, now I want to actually learn why did I just lose? Well, not really lose, but why did I just take such a hit on my investment? And that's really where I started to take it more seriously. So yeah, I was investing for about a year before I started to learn to trade, but I didn't go just like straight into trading. It was more like a gradual process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of comments. I guess for time reasons, I'll try to sum them up a little bit. But one thing that MG mentioned, I need a decent capital to make a living. Makes me take stupid trades. Yes, that's I know what you mean. At some point, you'll realize that when your trading system is fantastic, if you stick to your strict risk management, you need bigger capital to make significant wins. But in the end, if you are making $20 on a trade, just add a zero to it, and it'll be 200. Add another zero, it'll be 2,000. So if you manage to keep the system the same when your capital is bigger, the system will continue to reward you, and exponentially so, until you get to the point where those trades, you'll need maybe very few per week or per month even to pay for everything. So yeah, just be patient, man. Be patient, and maybe to quote Robert Kiyosaki, sometimes you have to do what you hate to invest in what you love. So take your time, be patient, and don't give up. And Mike says, yeah, in the Netherlands, you pay 2,000 euro a year for a bachelor or master education. You end the course with a diploma and a big debt. Yeah, well, that's an insecurity whether you'll find a job. That's a big problem in general. Yeah, in the U.S., student debt is huge, through the roof. And what a way to start your career, your working career. I mean, yeah, I think yeah, perhaps a solution is to combine it with trading, so you can make money trading, or pay for everything with trading, and then work in whatever you like without caring what you earn. That would be great.
I read the other day that one of the guys in the group paid off his daughter's college funds from the trades he's taken in the group. That was pretty amazing to
That's
read.
amazing. Yeah, that's fabulous. Love to hear that. Costs the same as a potential. Chart Champions costs the same thing and actually offers the potential to make money out of it. No debt if you risk management correctly. This was my personal reason for joining 2 years ago. Yeah. So, behavior, best community I've been in ever. When is the next meetup? Oh, well, I have to ask Corona. I maybe I don't know, next year if things calm down a little bit. But yeah, it's overdue. It's gonna be nice. Lockdown coming soon. Yeah, probably this winter is gonna be. I don't even want to think about it. We're doing Corona tests like crazy, man. I was working at a testing center in September for all the people that came back from holidays, and the days that I was on those shifts were actually kind of quiet. They were not too bad, but I think they did a record of 3,100 tests in one day.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it's just like, car drives by, you're dressed in your full suit, protection suit, and test, next one, next one. But yeah, this is gonna keep us busy for a while, but we'll get through it. And the nice thing about trading is that you can isolate yourself and still make money. You don't need to go to work. You can work from home. Okay, that's the email nailed. Thanks, Victor. I'm happy. I'm very happy. So maybe we should wrap it up.
Yeah, so
I hope that you guys enjoyed it and liked it. It was a bit of a different stream, not so technical with maybe new tools that you learned, but perhaps, I mean, for the experienced ones, you already know this, but perhaps for the ones not so experienced, intermediate and beginner traders, keep in mind that you're doing two jobs. One is the technical analysis, so that's you're a technical analyst and a trader. So you're not just a Twitter chart poster. No, you have to be a good technical analyst, and you have to be a not cold-hearted, but a cool trader in the sense of keeping your emotions in check and executing the trades according to your plan, and don't deviate from that. Stick to it. Okay, well, I guess we'll catch you guys on Discord. Thank you for joining us tonight. And Sunday will be the beginning of a pretty amazing live trading series. I mean, I really feel sorry for all the people that will not be able to see this live series. Oh, so if you're a contender, become a champion. It's awesome. It's worth it. Yeah, it's helped me personally a lot. The streams where you just see Daniel charting and you start getting in his head and just, this is why he's doing that. Oh, he's looking there. He's pulling like this, pulling like that. It's very nice to see. So, recommend it. Would you like to say something as well, Daniel?
Final words, I suppose. Yeah, bit of a different stream than normal, but nevertheless, hope that it was helpful, insightful, and obviously we'll be getting into TPO one soon. And yeah, for the rest, I'll see you in the Discord chat. And obviously, yeah, on Sunday we start a new trading live stream. So I think that's going to be really exciting. So I will catch you in that one or in the Discord if not before. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. It's I've enjoyed it anyway.
Me too. Then catch you on Discord, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Cheers.